tonight's the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Shashina Lowell. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news, a young man is fighting for his life tonight after he was stabbed during a brawl in the Coral Gardens community this afternoon. Kimberly Mullings has our top story.
Stabbing incident taking place just before 1 o'clock Wednesday afternoon in the Coral Gardens community. Police arrived on the scene shortly after the incident occurred. Superintendent Noel Curry, officer in charge of the Eastern Division of Grand Bahama, leading a team of officers on the scene.
4 men were engaged in a fight. We understand one of the males is in critical condition after receiving stab wounds about the body and is at the Rand Memorial Hospital receiving medical attention.
While the search continues for the person or persons responsible for the stabbing, reports say the victim is well known to police. Police are grateful for the assistance they have received from Coral Garden residents thus far, but are appealing to members of the public who have any information to come forward.
I want to appeal to the Coral Gardens community and any persons who may have any information with regards to what occurred here in the Coral Gardens community during this day to come forward and assist us with our investigations. And as you can appreciate, we are in the early stages of this investigation.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Well, at this hour, police are also investigating the death of a 20-year-old female in 8 Mile Rock. Reports reaching our newsroom say the young woman was found dead in her home in Jonestown, 8 Mile Rock, this morning. Now, the circumstances surrounding her death are not known at this time. Investigations are continuing. In other news, VAT officials are on the move as compliance officers have launched a fact-finding mission to determine the level of compliance on Grand Bahama. Joan Davis-Roll traveled along with the VAT agents as they conducted inspections at various local establishments.
Prelude to Wednesday's tour, a quick overview of the VAT mission was first explained by VAT consultant Lincoln Strawn at the VAT office in the Region Center.
We will be visiting business places to ensure that they are complying with the law, and what we will be looking for is the certificates are displayed, the prices displayed, goods are VAT inclusive, and 7.5% VAT is collected, and the TIN number is affixed to the receipt or invoice.
VAT officials then hit the road Wednesday morning with the first VAT inspection carried out at Sawyer's food store. Major components, the posting of the VAT notice to pricing. Following the tour, VAT officer, certified public accountant Leo Hepburn and customs officer Miriam Fernanda disclosed their findings.
They are in full compliance. They're just about 85% finished with pricing all the items on the shelf. They don't price the individual items, they price the shelves themselves, and that's acceptable. Also, in the printing of their receipt, it outlined the VAT inclusive pricing. It extracted the VAT that was paid. And that's also in compliance as well.
Yesterday we went to, randomly went to about 18 or so companies, and we find that all of those companies were fully compliant. There was 1 or 2 things that we mentioned to them, but basically everything was together.
Then it was on to Kentucky on the Mall, a fast food chain which among others have hiked prices with the introduction of VAT. From there, officials made a stop at the East Sunrise gas station, where officials moved to determine if this business establishment had complied. How are customers pulling up to the gas station able to determine if they were charged VAT in light of the fact that they don't necessarily get receipts?
You can get a receipt from the gas station if you request it. You can still pull up and buy your $20 gas or $5 gas. VAT is included in the price. What we found here was that generally they were in compliance. We had one problem where the VAT certificate was not clearly displayed. It couldn't be read from the position that we stood. And we told them they need to correct that, because anyone coming into the store should be able to view the certificate, ascertain the TIN number and the location of the store. Right now I understand it's 6 cents per gallon, and it really should be 7.5% per gallon. That's going to be worked out hopefully by the end of the month.
Tours of this nature will be carried out by VAT officials here on Grand Bahama for the ensuing weeks, as business owners have been given a deadline of February 28 to comply with VAT inclusive prices. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis-Roll.
Well, value-added tax continues to be the topic of discussion around the country. VAT was implemented on January 1st, and there have been mixed reviews concerning this form of taxation. President of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, Reverend Peter Pinder says while he understands the emotions involved with the new tax, it must be understood that every country has to have sources of revenue.
No matter what form of revenue the government uses, there are going to be those who are going to have objections and negative comments to be made. And I suppose there are some uncertainties associated with value-added tax because it's new. And there is most likely going to be some anxiety expressed about it.
But the religious leader believes the anxiety and frustration will soon settle as consumers become accustomed to VAT.
I believe, though, that ultimately people will become accustomed to value-added tax. It's commonly used in many countries that I've traveled to, and so therefore I believe that, you know, in a relatively short period of time, our people would become much more comfortable with value-added tax and realize that it is something that is needed to ensure that the government is able to meet its obligations. Everybody wants an increase in income so they can meet their obligations. Well, the government needs the same thing.
Now, the Christian Council president is appealing to Bahamians to support the efforts of the government. And it is a problem that didn't develop overnight, but the government is seeking to address the issue once and for all. This past weekend, the Minister of Immigration and Foreign Affairs visited Abaco, an island known for its high illegal immigrant population. While there, he also visited Hopetown and gave residents an overview of the new administrative policies. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Immigration, along with a delegation, took a ferry to Hopetown to hear the concerns of residents and to explain the new administrative measures that have been in place since November 1st. While there, the minister was taken on a tour of the small community off the mainland of Abaco, as local government counselors took him to an area where illegals have been known to reside.
The intelligence we have is that people are now taking the ocean journey and coming straight to Abaco because they believe Abaco is a soft border and that the defenses here are less, and you have welcoming communities which would allow them to simply come into the community and melt here into the community and then ultimately into the workforce.
But within 90 days, the minister says the Immigration Department, along with other partners, will be staging major operations to bring this matter under control. He says the government is serious about demonstrating that they will bring order to the country and will protect its reputation while doing so.
Everybody has to remember that this has to be in balance. We don't want people making jingoistic or abusive statements about people. We don't support that in any event. This is not about targeting any specific group. This is about trying to bring documentation and order and regularity to the situation involving migration to the Bahamas.
Member of Parliament for North Abaco, Renardo Curry, and Member of Parliament for Central and South Abaco, Edison Key, as well as Hopetown District Councillor Jeremy Sweeting believe the time has come to put a dent in the illegal immigration problem.
It's been a situation that's been under discussion for many years, and so it's just now having the will of the people and the support of the people to really push the policy forward, and that's what the minister is seeking to do.
The policies are all laid down now in this, and Bahamians just have to follow. So it's a situation that has to be dealt with.
In Hopetown, we have a lot of challenges, a lot of boat theft, and we think a lot of that's coming through the illegal immigration and human smuggling.
While some may call for an amnesty period, the minister says there will be no such thing.
Know that since we've been talking about it since July, you can't sit from July to November. You're still here in the country. You know that you're not regularized, and you do nothing about it and say you don't know what to do. So if you find yourself back in your home country and saying, how could these people do this to me? You have no one to blame but yourself.
Stay with us, there's more news right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The operators of a bridal business in the International Bazaar is up in arms after her store was vandalized over the weekend. This entrepreneur says she is at her wit's end and is calling on the culprits to stop. Italia Hall has this story.
Wendy Pratt, owner of Fritz Bridal, started her business 16 years ago in the International Bazaar, and although the hardship brought on by the economic downturn in Grand Bahama, she says she's still operating the business to the best of her ability. And last Friday, she had an unpleasant surprise when she flicked on her lights and there was no power.
So my husband went outside to check the meter room, only to find that the door had been broken open. And all of the wires, the meters, everything in that room has been vandalized. This is actually the third time. And what I suggest that needs to be done around here is they need to get rid of all of the vagrancies that are around here, sleeping in all of the dilapidated buildings and just lurking around looking for something to do.
Pratt expressed her heartbreak and pain that she started the year with.
Because at the beginning of the year, this is when we have most of our brides that are coming in to get started with their weddings for 2015. And I'm here not being able to operate and not able to, facilitate these customers that are coming in with anticipation and planning their weddings. This is terrible.
Pratt's landlord, Ann Shipman, was there as support and feels her pain as well.
There's only one shop left after 40 years, and it's very sad to see something that was so beautiful one time being totally destroyed. There's hardly anybody left in the bazaar, and something has to be done to patrol it.
Although a setback for the store, Pratt says she will continue to provide service for customers.
It hurts my heart every day to come to my business and to be targeted by persons just lurking around, whether they're here just stealing your Wi-Fi or just here just plotting on the next move on what it is that they want to do when you close your place at 5 o'clock. It's just heartbreaking, and something really, really needs to be done about the situation in this bazaar. We only have a handful of tenants that are still here, but we're here because we've invested so much. Like myself, I have 16 years here. I have a lot of investment here. This is my livelihood. I have nowhere else to go at this time because the rent in Grand Bahama is outrageous.
The stealing of copper is an ongoing issue in the Bahamas that has impacted many businesses over the years. And the question residents are now asking is, when will it end? Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Thanks, Italia. Well, a local government councillor leading initiatives to make a residential community safe. Councillor for Central Grand Bahama, Frazette Gibson, says residents of Wellington Pinder Heights subdivision near Hawksbill have been faced with a number of break-ins recently, and notes that something had to be done.
It was very important that we clear the bushes along the margin in the back of the homes of the residents so that they're able to get a very clear view of who's in the back of their yard and what is happening. They've come together and they formed their neighborhood crime watch, but we wanted to assist further by clearing the bushes, and so they're able to get a clear view of their neighbors' homes and their homes in particular.
Well, she says the Neighborhood Watch program is going well, and she's encouraging residents to continue to be their brother's keepers.
The Neighborhood Crime Watch is going good. It's headed by LaShonda Grant, and she knows every resident within Wellington subdivision. And all persons are on board. We have numerous of police officers that reside here as well. And so I think things are turning around in Wellington. They are becoming their brother's keeper. And I think we have strayed away from that, and that is very important, that we look out for each other. And until that is the first and foremost, we will always have problems. And so we have to go back to being our brother's keepers. And so when the neighbor is not home, we are able to look and see that, oh, this person is not familiar there. Maybe I need to call them. And then when we are going out or we are traveling, we need to inform our neighbor as well.
In other news, the Grand Bahamas segment of the Bahama Brass Band preparing to celebrate 90 years of music ministry. To commemorate the historic feat, the band plans to host a grand concert. Assistant Band Director Billy Dickinson says that Grand Bahamians will be in for a special treat as the band entertains with classics from the various eras, starting from the 1920s.
We're going to host a grand concert on January 11th, 2015. Concert starts at 7:30 p.m., so be there sharp. We'll be in performance. Of course, we'll have the Royal Police Band, but that's also. We'll be playing items, I would say songs that overwhelmed 90 years. The band has been playing for 90 years. And we're going to capture all the eras in regards to those songs. So we play songs from when they started in the 20s, the 40s, 60s, and the ones that we play today. Of course, again, our music will be lively. Bring your marching shoes. So we want you to dress nice, but bring your marching shoes. It's going to be a grand time.
Now, Band Director Barry Morris says they will honor those who have made contributions to the band over the past 90 years, including their oldest member, who is now 94 years old. But he says what makes the concert even more special is that part proceeds will go to a major cause on the island.
What is special about this event is that we are partnering with the Cancer Society of the Bahamas, and we want to help to raise funds for them. As we know, the breast cancer is storming our country. We're among the highest levels per capita in the world, and so we want to help them to raise funds so that the people from Grand Bahama may be properly serviced, taken care of, get their treatments.
Stay with us, Ricardo Liborn, as a check on sports when we return.
Hey everybody, it's Sports Time. I'm Ricardo Lightborn. It's Elsa Neely's day. Yes, only her day, so let's get the show on the road. Way to go, Elsa. Well, George Washington University Colonials during the NCAA Junkanoo Jam was called Grand Bahamas Team. You see, the reason is Grand Bahamas' very own Jonquel Jones actually rocked the house in front of the home crowd. Now, John Quelson, returning to league play, was named the Atlantic 10 Women's Basketball Player of the Week. And the forward averaged a double-double, or 21 points, 12.25 rebounds a game. Jones also shot 64% from the floor, 2 blocks, 1.5 a game, as well as a steal. And the Colonials are on a 10-game winning streak. Now, they also sit at 12-2. Jonquel is the only player in Atlantic 10 averaging a double-double for the season, in the league leading 11 per game, and also ranked 5th in scoring, 16.0. George Washington will play tonight. They play 7 o'clock. And who do they play? St. Joe. And the big girl will be right there. And the Grand Bahama Basketball Association is going to open up on Friday, and you guys can expect a super season with some help from some of the basketball legends. The Grand Bahama Basketball Association 2015 campaign begins Friday at the St. George's Gymnasium. The league will encompass Ladies Division II and Division I men play, and an efficient officiating team, says President Rodney Crippy Wilson.
Fred is in charge of officiating, him and Shandiro, and we have Lewis Livingston is coming back on board. He was here helping us in our playoff, and some of the Harry and all those are coming. We have officials. The more officials we can find, it'll be a plus, because you know high school is going on at the same time, and the officials are spread so thin between our league and the high school, so that kind of shorthanded us some nights.
The question is, why has basketball suffered so much over the past 10 years, losing its fan base appeal? Where are the players that did so much for the game and the game did so much for them? Well, he answered that this way.
That's a good question, Carlo, that we tried to find an answer for years, and no one seems to come up with an answer. I mean, even the president of the BBF can't tell you that answer right now. You see, a lot of people that pass through and anytime you really hear from them is when we go to a basketball player funeral, everybody there and talking about what we're going to do, but At the end of the day, when a person go down in the ground, we don't ever see no one else to come out to do nothing, to help. You know, they always saying. And now I'm looking forward to the Loftus Club that they have formed with Inch and the first Commonwealth Championship, Bookie and Stretch and all them. All I'm saying they're gonna use their club to come back and help me this year. And I'm looking forward to that. If they do that, that'll be a big help for me.
Well, folks, the B3A's Northern Bahamas Awards was a special one, not just for the athletes, but also for the family, friends, and supporters of the track and field athletes who shared in the celebration. It was an opportunity for the legends of the sport to be recognized as the trailblazers like the late Basil Nemore and Drexel Pinder, Fletcher Lewis Jr., Father Donald Kerr, Patrick Monroe, and Anita Doherty. B3A's Vice President Aram Lewis said it best: awesome, outstanding, and yeah, successful.
We have the trailblazers here. We're not hearing about them. We are seeing them. We can see them. We can touch them. We can feel them. We can converse with them to hear what they went through in during their time. We have the current superstar athletes, the senior athletes right now, who again, they are here to inspire the younger athletes. And then of course we have the younger athletes who would have seen two generations in front of them. Good example, positive examples to follow. They don't need to go outside of the country to look for role models. Role models are not only in the country, role models are right here in the very room that they are in.
And finally, and I got to say tonight to my colleagues at BTC, man, and Bahamas, you guys got to get my phone fixed. My wife mad because she can't hear who calling. My kids mad because the internet ain't working, okay? And I got to go home to that. Give a brother a break.